What is going on? What is up, YouTube? What is up, community? I am TJ, aka Flash by Night, and I am doing the re-up live this week. I usually do it recorded and edited to, you know, kind of shake some of the bugs out, see what's going on. What is going on, Captain? Yeah, I usually do this recorded because I get a little nervous whenever I'm shooting and I like to edit and get things out of the way. But I have to learn to get out here and be live, be amongst you, the people. Yeah, so that's what we're doing tonight. We are going to look at a few of my new comic book day pickups for the last 2 weeks and a little bit of mail, and we're gonna hang out. If anybody shows up, we'll hang out a little bit longer, um, answer some questions, and that's what we're gonna do. So first, I want to say um, uh, hello to all of the 420 partakers. I don't partake myself, but I do respect the game. Um, I'll tell you a funny story, and then I won't belabor it too long, but I'll tell you a funny story. Um, one of the reasons why I don't partake in any 420 activities is because in the Marine Corps, we used to basically get snuck up on with drug tests. They used to take us outside, and 5:30 in the morning, you get ready for PT, you go stretch, you do a few sit-ups, whatever, and then you get ready to run for the morning. And on random mornings, they would basically bring you outside, have you stretch, get ready to go running, and without announcement, they would march you right into the headquarters office where everybody would go and basically uh, take the test in the cup. We'll put it like that. And so nowadays, I'm worried that I haven't I haven't seen a cup at my job yet, but I know the first time I partake, the cup is going to come around and magically find my desk. So we don't do that. We'll leave that to everybody who is partaking. Hope y'all had fun. Anyway, let me check the chat. Let's see who is here. All right, we have Captain Comics, Ahoy Mates and Mermaids, and that little magic trick I didn't know how to do. Captain Comics taught me. Trying to tell you, the people in this community are good, and they will let you know what's going on. Let's see who else we have. We have the algorithm in the house. Sith Lordly from Spine Ticks. How are you doing, good sir? Yes, Agu, I am a devil dog, Semper Fi. Um, I was in the Marine Corps from 1999 to 2004. Yes, sir. Let's see. Ah, Cap only smokes seaweed. That is hilarious. That is great. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and get started with these new comic book day books. As I said, therefore this week and last week, because I generally don't get big hauls. I know a lot of YouTubers, they have 15 to 20 books a week. They go out spending and they go out and they make it rain in the comic book store. I make it drizzle. I pick up two, three, maybe four books a week, depending on what I want to read, what's on my pull list. If I look into a book that may go up in value, and I may pick it up and see what happens. But usually my hauls are small. We're gonna call it team small haul. I don't know if that'll catch on. I may be a team of one. I may be a one man gang, like the guy in WWF used to be. But we're gonna go with team small haul. And so the first book I picked up today is going to be Flash 769. Um, Flash is right now headed up by Wally West. That just started in 768. And yeah, so in Flash 768, Wally basically wants to get out of the hero game. He wants Barry to go ahead, cut him off from the Speed Force, so he can go back to living a normal life with Linda and the kids because he hasn't had that in years. Whole long backstory. A lot of people hate it, but it is what it is. And so when Barry tries to cut Wally off from the Speed Force actually cuts everyone else off and shoots Wally into the body of at least one or two speedsters. And so we're going to follow that story in 769 and see where it goes. Oh, that is Azores Tiger from Spine Ticks. What is going on? How are we doing? Thank you for hanging out. Next book I picked up is Justice League number 60. Yeah, number 60, by Brian Michael Bendis, the guy everyone loves to hate. But Justice League 59 was pretty good. It introduced us to a villain that's from Naomi's old world. And so I think they're going to open that can up and kind of explore that. So I'm looking forward to seeing this. There's also a backup story from Justice League Dark in this. And I don't know anything about Justice League Dark, but the beginning of the backup story in issue 59 intrigued me. So we're gonna check that out. Next book is from Boom Studios, and it is the many deaths of Layla Starr. I actually didn't walk into my shop intending on picking this up, but it was sitting on the count on the wall, and I went ahead and grabbed it, and yeah, we'll see what this has in store. Apparently, Layla Starr is deaf, basically, and then she gets fired from being deaf, and has to come down here and live amongst us. And so, let's see. Dream of August Comics, shout out to you, says I had him at Boom Studios. Yeah, and so we're gonna give this a shot and see what happens with Layla Starr, as she has to come down here from being deaf and mingle with us common folk. All right. Oh, let's see. There we go. Still getting the hang of this. So last week I picked up Lighthouse issue number 1 from Image Comics, which was a pretty good book. We basically got a crew in the far future because it references Earth like Earth was a million years ago. They're kind of in the far future, and they are on a asteroid, which is basically a lighthouse, kind of telling other ships where to go, how to get from wormhole to wormhole, how not to get lost in the deep parts of space. And our crew is 3 humans, a robot, and an alien. And they're a pretty fun group. I really like the robot and his relationship with one of the human characters. And then they get boarded by pirates. Um, the way they get boarded by pirates is really weird and probably not the best part of this book. I'll put it like that. But the rest of the book is good. Some things happen. It escalates pretty quickly. And yeah, so Lighthouse is pretty good. I'm gonna get issue number 2 and see if it holds me. Also, I know we've been talking about the big two raising prices on their books to 4 and 5.99 and such. I think someone else is following suit, which I know we hold indies in great esteem, which we should because they're doing good work. But prices kind of follow each other. So I expect if the big two raises their prices to $4.99 as a standard. I wouldn't be shocked if other publishers kind of follow right behind. It's kind of how things go. Next book I got from last week was story number 14. Um, I may be in the minority, but I liked how this wrapped up for Mr. Donald Blake, who's been running around on his own, unsupervised, and I kind of like this punishment too. I'll leave it at that. I don't want to spoil it for anyone who hasn't read Thor 14 yet, but it's pretty good. Now this book, I'm really going back and forth on whether I'm gonna keep up with this book, but we got Nonstop Spider-Man #2, Adrenaline Rush on top of an adrenaline rush, topped with a little bit more adrenaline, and it's all over the place. The story is pretty good. The story has Spider-Man um, kind of looking at Peter Parker uh, investigating the death of a classmate, basically ODing. Also, uh, another classmate and friend of his who has taken the same drug, and the drug is basically targeting smart children in smart students in the city. And so I like the premise of the book. I like where it's trying to go, but the book is just all over the place. It moves really fast. Um, I said I was going to read it because people were kind of do I want to say bored with Amazing Spider-Man. I won't say Amazing Spider-Man is not as amazing as most people want it to be. So I'm thinking to myself, if it's not, I get Nonstop Spider-Man. We'll get a lot of action, and that'll be that. Well, Nonstop Spider-Man is a good bit of action, and yeah. Also, the Madripoor Fist Pumper, the Turkish Delight, Baron Zemo shows up in this, and I have questions about Baron Zemo because he acts a lot younger than I would think he should act. But I'm gonna let you guys be the judge of that. I don't know. Let me see who else. Agu, that my brother also serves. I think we talked to that about that before. Agu, your brother is also a Marine, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, yeah, that's a interesting lifestyle choice. I'll tell you, it did a lot for me. It helped me grow up a lot. I don't know if I would be who I am if not for the Marine Corps, if not for getting a little, as they would say, discipline in my body. Yeah. So thank your brother for me for his service to the country and our Corps. All right. So the next book I picked up is not necessarily new, but it is the next Batman Second Son #1. I haven't read this yet, but I intend on getting into it. I think it's a little bit of background on the next Batman from Future State, and so we're gonna have to check this out and see. And I was actually on the Good Captain's channel when this next book came up, and I had been looking at it for about a year, and I finally decided to get it. I haven't read it yet, and I'm not sure when I'll read it, but the cover is great, and so I picked up What If Marvel Comics Went Metal with the Ghost Rider. I have no idea what this book is about. If it's like if it's what I've heard of most what if stories, then it may start off as a traditional Marvel story as we know it and take a turn. I'm not sure. Maybe I crack this open this week and who knows, do a review on it, do a keeping up with the comics review. The next couple of books I got, not necessarily for any kind of value, But just because I like the look of the comic, of the cover, and speaking of the Marine Corps, I kind of dodged this book when I first got into reading, but I believe the next solo title this character gets, I'm going to jump on it and give it a try. But I have Punisher War Journal number 50, and I just like this big gigantic knife and his rifle and the Punisher skull in the background. Like I did, I picked it up basically for the cover, and it was in the dollar bin. So yeah. And my other Punisher book I picked up from the dollar bin is what is it, Punisher 21? Yeah, Punisher 21 with the uh basically with Frank in the boxing ring getting ready to throw down. This is great. I also picked this up for $1. Let me see what is going on. Geek out with Roscoe. What's up, James? Yes, that cover is embossed. I think it I think it's embossed. I get my nomenclature mixed up. I got embossed mixed up with die cut when I was talking about nonstop Spider-Man #1, actually, the kind of surprise variant. But yeah, it is an embossed cover. And my last book that I picked up today is kind of a beat up copy, but I picked up G.I. Joe number 14. I believe this is first Destro. And yeah, so that was my pickups from the comic book store over the last couple of weeks. Now, my next little bit of mail actually is I said mail, but I don't think it's technically mail. Um, I bought some books from Lady Fantastic from one of from an auction on Saturdays, and we both were down in Huntsville for the comic and pop culture expo, and so I asked her kindly to bring my books to the expo, and of course she did because that's the kind of person she is, and that's what we kind of all do. And so she brought my books down, and I'm gonna go ahead and show them off. So the first book I grabbed from her, because you can never have too much Howard, is Howard the Duck number 30. The was that the Iron Duck? I didn't even pay attention when I got this. I just knew it was a Howard the Duck original Marvel comic, and I knew I didn't have it, so I knew I needed it. Next book I grabbed is Justice League 21. That's my little flash by night, little flash by night name tag basically in there so she can remember, because it takes me a long time to buy books, and my books will probably be spread around somebody's house if they don't label it. But yeah, so I've got Justice League 21, and I believe this is the first. I believe this is the first Marvel family, or at least the Marvel family as they are currently constituted. The Iron Duck book is fire. I bet it is. I bet it is. I really enjoy. Well, I enjoyed the Howard the Duck movie. I know it was really cheesy, but I grew up in that cheesy time in the 80s and 90s when everything was cheesy and we were trying to do more than we had the special effects to do. Um, that's when I grew up. I grew up in a really cheesy, not so many effects, but we're trying to do the most with what we have time. Next book I have is, I believe it's a 1 in 10, Miles Morales Spider-Man number 21. Then we have and I bought kind of a small lot from her, and I'll show you the book I bought it for in the end. But I think I paid like $4 or $5 for all of these books. Well, all of the books that are coming up. So I have Marvel Fanfare. What is that? Number 10. And I'm not sure who this is Black Widow has, but apparently he's not having a great day. He's caught in the web. Then I have a Peter Parker Spectacular Spider-Man number 7. Oh, and what's up to Mr. C3 Comics? I am glad you are here tonight. How we doing? How we doing? So the next book I have is ROM number 50. And I don't know what was up with the assistant editors, but apparently, what does it say? Surgeon General warning. Determined that the assistant editor's month is dangerous to your health. So I don't know what went on with the assistant editors in this book, but apparently it is a detriment to my health. I'm not sure if I should read this or not. I don't need problems. I don't need extra health problems. We're just getting over a pandemic. I don't need anything coming out of this book to get me. Second to last book in this haul is Black Goliath number 2. Let's see. What's going on with Dank Comics? How we doing tonight? Yeah. I got up here. I was going to just record this and edit as usual, and I thought to myself, let me just pop on and do this live, and maybe some people will come in. And I am really surprised to actually see multiple people here with an impromptu live video. So I really appreciate everybody for coming in. I really do. Let's see who else is here. Mr. Southern Comic Geek, who I also saw in Huntsville, and I also got books from. Um, Wishing the captain happy birthday, which I believe is actually coming up. Um, I don't know if I'm supposed to tell everybody this, but it's kind of a running joke with the birthday thing. But I think Captain's birthday is actually coming up. Let's see, let me see. Assistant editors month ran through all the books that month. Marvel had fun with their books that month. Well, at least somebody had fun. Uh, um, um, I hope the books were at least were pretty good. Let's see. Does he want AOKs or what? Um, I am hesitant to ask what he wants. You may not want to open that can of worms. Let's see. So we got one more fortnight. Uh, oh, and yet we are definitely going to keep it coming. All right. So the last book I got, and the book I really wanted, the book that just jumped off the screen. And it's not a big book because I'm not a big book person yet. I grab books because they're fun and there are things that are kind of up my alley. Sometimes, a lot of times, you'll see me grab the Marine Corps fighting Marines books and things, and it's not so much for value as it's just something that I like that kind of interests me, and so the book I grabbed the small lot for is Black Lightning #2. Now, soon enough, I'm going to wander across a Black Lightning #1 at a good price. I can go and pay a premium for one, but I'm really patient, and so I'll sit on my desires until one comes across the screen, and maybe comes across for the low. That's how I am. I'm kind of frugal like that, but I'm happy to have Black Lightning #2 with me. Now, I was going to end it at that, but since I have some people here with me, hanging out in the chat, chatting it up. Let's see. Captain Commons needs a bigger coconut bra. If you are not following Captain Comics on Instagram, you should be, and you will see what all that's about. It is the funniest thing in the world. Um, yeah, I don't know what to say. I saw it live once. Not too many coconuts in the middle. Let's see. Yep, Captain, you got to work with what you got. Work with what you got. All right. So Ben Compton is in the house. What is going on? What is going on? Thank you for stopping by. So I grabbed I'm going to call it a sort of mystery box. Um, it's not a real mystery box. It's some books I picked out. But what happens, and it happened with Lady Fantastic's books, is that I am prone to buy comics, and Southern Comic Geek can probably tell you this, but I'm prone to buy comics 1 or 2 weeks apart from each other, maybe a month apart from each other. And over time I'll collect with a seller and grab a box of 5 or 6 or 7 comics. But it may be 4 or 5 or 6 months before I actually have the comics sent out. So what will happen then is that I will forget what it is that I actually purchased. And this package here, if I can open it without my knife, is kind of the same thing. I purchased some comics from a Facebook seller, pretty good guy, but I don't remember what all I purchased. I think I remember like the last book or two. So this will probably be a surprise to myself as well as everyone else. Uh, I thought I dropped something. I didn't drop anything. All right. So this is actually a surprise. So the seller actually sent me an extra copy of a book, and for free, he sent me Far Sector issue #2. Yes, yes, Dank. That is exactly what I'm doing. Not on purpose. I have a bad memory, and I let things sit around, and by default, I mystery box myself. That is exactly how I would describe it. But I got Far Sector #2, um, and this was just a throw-in for the purchases I made. And this is actually a book I let get past me. I wasn't really interested in getting to know a lantern. But now that I have #1, now that I have #2, and I bought Green Lantern, the ongoing #1, which I think she shows up in the second issue. So I guess I have to catch up. And that is what I've heard. I've heard that Far Sector is really good. So I'm gonna do some catching up and see what Far Sector is about. The next book I purchased actually got here right on time, and it is Superman Convergence, issue number 2, featuring the first appearance of John Kent, who, if you don't know, if you haven't been reading, is about to be your next Superman. Loke Dog 51. That welcome to the chat. Welcome, welcome. This is one of my oldest friends and the person who pushed me to get on here. And when I say push me, I mean he like went and had my logo made before I actually decided I was going to get on. I'm like, well, I've got a logo. I guess I got to go for it. He also made, and I don't have it on me, but he also made my Flash by Night shirts that we went to the Huntsville Comic Con with. Yeah. So get you some supporters in your life. Yeah, that's this is the well, like very first John Kent. You see, Lois is pregnant here. Like very first baby, swaddling baby, gunk on the baby still, John Kent. Well, actually, I don't know if that's how it went. I don't know if John Kent was born with gunk on him. But for those who don't know, John Kent is going to be, as of July, under Tom Taylor, is going to be headlining the Superman book. It's going to be Superman, Son of Kal-El, and it is going to be replacing the. It's going to be replacing the Superman book, and it's an ongoing. So we'll see how that goes. Clark is still supposed to be headlining Action Comics, and so I think that works out great for both characters. I know a lot of people want John to go back to being young and to um, be Superboy again and hang out with Damian, but I don't. They may not be moving backwards like everybody wants. They may stick with John being an adult, and I think it's nice to have John to be Superman in one book and Clark to be Superman in action. And I think he's going to be on War World, and some of that's going to spill off into On the Earth. So we'll see how that works. But yeah, so John Kent may be your new Superman. They've been hinting at it for a while. But yeah. Okay, let me get my facts straight before we both get killed. The wife made the shirts, and we don't want to get killed. Like he may get it first, but she won't be far behind me. Oh, I'm about to knock my earpiece out. All right, so the next purchase I made was actually, and I don't do these, but I do have a Moon Knight card. Let's see. All right, we got the focus going, and then he stuck my favorite word back on there again. So this is my second one in this purchase, and it is. Oh, let me turn around. Got a Spider-Man black suit card. I don't know if either one of those are worth any amount of money. I know cards are blowing up all over the place, here, there, and everywhere. But I think the Moon Knight card is just nice to have. I'm not saying it to get graded or anything. I just wanted to have it because I saw it. So next book in this lot is Hell Arisen #3. I believe it is the third print. Yeah, third print of Hell Arisen #3. First punchline. Um, I actually can't believe I got it. I got it for a good price. It was like $7 or $8. I know it's not the first print. I know it's not astronomical or anything, but it's a third print, and I got it for less than 10. I can't see where the downside is. All right. Next book. Yep. Yep. So I was telling everybody earlier, I'm super super frugal, and so yeah, less than $10 is great for anything that I recognize. Next book up, I have Ultimate Spider-Man #9, and I think I have like three of these. They keep. I don't know if I'm supposed to have a lot of these, but they keep jumping into my lots at a decent price, so I grabbed it. And also Ultimate Spider-Man #10 with the Prowler doing what the Kingpin wanted him to do in Spider-Verse. And then the last book of the lot, I was really happy to find. And it's got one crease in it. It's another one of those books I don't think I'm getting it graded unless I find out something about it that I don't know now. But I have Cobra Kai #1. This was, and I think it was like $4 or $5. So I was happy to have this, but I know everybody recognizes this. I don't know too many people on earth that haven't watched Cobra Kai at some point or another. If you haven't, go to Netflix, put in your password, turn on Cobra Kai, and just let Cobra Kai entertain you for a few hours. It's a good show. Uh, Basically following up on Karate Kid. I don't know if this is actually a key. I just saw it and jumped on it. It may well be. I've never looked it up to see. Um, but I saw it and it was interesting. Or use someone else's password. Netflix is looking for password sharers. So don't tell anyone. All right. So that is all of the books I grabbed for this week and the books that came in the mail. Um, and that was pretty fun. I actually thought I'd be a little bit more nervous to try and do this. I really didn't expect. I think I got up to 8 people in here tonight. I really didn't expect that at all. Uh, so I appreciate it very, very much. And I think we are at 38 minutes, almost 40 minutes. And so I'm going to call it a night, and go take care of some things and get ready to take on the day tomorrow, which is not Friday, sir. It's not Friday. I wish it was Friday. It's not Friday. Anyway, let's see. Uh-oh. I don't know where it is now, but it was on fire when it came out. Ah, I'm going to check on that, and I will let you know. Or yeah, I'll check on it, and we'll talk about it later. But like I said, I didn't expect it to be a key. Really, I just grabbed the book because you know Johnny is on the book, and yeah, and the book was fire. But I am going to check out for tonight and catch up with you guys later. And as I always say, love yourselves, love each other. Shout out to my chat, and I will be back in a flash.